quench my thirst? Father said, there is a ocean, go and drink. You will have your thirst quenched. The guy did not understand what father meant by the word ocean. But he doesn't want to show that he is too full. So he went to the mother and asked, Mom, what is ocean? Mom said, I do not know. I heard that it is somewhere far and it's a very big place filled with water. Then he asked some of his friends, what is ocean? How to go? He said, that I do not know. But I know there is one wise fish in a hillock. We all call him as a guru. If you go to that fish, he may guide you. So this young fish, a great seeker, started searching. Slowly he traveled, went up to that guru fish there in a big, beautiful cave. The guru fish was sitting. In front of him, all the disciples' fish were there. The new seeker, the seeker fish, entered the cave and asked the guru fish, Master, how can I quench my thirst? Please show me the path to ocean. The master fish just gave one blow to the seeker fish. Seeker fish opened the mouth, water entered, thirst got quenched. That's all. As long as you are searching, you miss the reality. And the master fish says, you are in ocean. Only thing you need to open your mouth. When you don't want to open your mouth, you start searching. When you don't want to realize, you start searching. Many people come and tell me, Swamiji, you say spirituality is very easy, meditation is easy, enlightenment is easy. We are also searching, but it's not so easy. You search because you don't want to realize. Understand, it is a cunning method to avoid. So you can be poor in the physical way, in the comforts way. That's not a big mistake. But if you are poor in the spiritual way, that hurts our ego too much. We don't want to be poor in spiritual way. So we claim we are also seeking. All you are seeking is a beautiful way to escape from enlightenment. There's a beautiful saying by Vivekananda. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. I tell you, arise, awake, stop, the goal is reached. Thank you.
I don't understand that because all the great saints and sages, they, like for example yourself, you had to do some searching, from small. So maybe I'm missing the point. Because
I searched because I was a fool. Understand? I was searching because I was a fool. Why should you also be a fool? See, be very clear. I searched because I was a fool. And now for you there is no need. Only thing you need to look in and start expressing. See, there was a meeting in our ashram. We initiate healers. Once they are initiated, they can heal others. So the healer's initiation was happening. I was explaining to the healers that to get this experience of energy in me, it took 9 years of tapas. I was telling them, you are all fortunate, you are having just by one initiation. It's an experiential program. In that you don't need to believe. Once you are initiated, you naturally start feeling the energy flow. Till you feel the energy flow, you will not be sent out. In the program itself is designed in such a way, unless you experience, you won't go out. So I told them, the thing has become so simple for you all. For me, I have to work 9 years. Then somebody commented, you are not so fortunate to have a master like Nityananda Swami. What can we do? See, when When you don't have a master, when you don't know the right key, when you don't know the right technique, you need to search. But the search is not mandatory to realize. Many masters searched and realized that is true, but it is not mandatory as you all think. When you start thinking of search, it's a beautiful way to postpone. You say, oh, I can't search. Naturally, I can't realize. I always tell people, two ways of escaping gurus are there. Always people are afraid of gurus. There are two ways to escape. One is hating them. This guy is fake. Drop about him. There is other way to escape from guru. Oh master, you are so great, but we can't be like you. You are so great, but we can't be like you. We can worship you. We will have your big photograph in my house. We will put big garland. We will do aarti. We will do everything, but we can't be like you. It's a cunning way of escaping from gurus. Hindus have done the same thing to Buddha. Hindus worshipped Buddha and escaped from the Buddha's teachings. According to, if a worship leads to inspiration by worshipping me, if you are going to be inspired to reach the same state, then worship is not worth, it's worthy. But by worshipping me, if you are going to feel distance, the worship is not worthy. Then worship becomes worst form of crucifixion. You escape from the master. Never think, there's a wonderful reference from Ramana Maharshi. Somebody comes to Bhagavan and asks him to give vibhuti. Bhagavan says, there is a cup, take it, what is there? He says, no, please give from your hand. Then Bhagavan says, Arey, that hand and this hand is one and the same, don't you understand? If you don't realize that, even if I give vibhuti, nothing will work. If you realize that there is no need for me to give vibhuti, take it, that's all. Whether you realize or not, me giving is not going to work. Whether you realize or not, you taking is only going to work. So understand, by creating these differences, mind escapes from teaching. When you start worshipping Krishna, you close Gita. Don't do that. Worshipping Krishna, if it inspires you to read Gita and practice Gita, worship is beautiful, wonderful, fruitful. But by worshipping, if you think, oh, these are all great words, anyhow, we can't follow. If you feel in that way, it is not the right attitude. So understand, I was searching because I was fool. For you, there is no need to be fool. Just be a little more intelligent, that's all.
Maybe the last question, I guess. I mean, you were talking about the preaching about the spiritualism about India. Like we have a generation span of spiritualism, and now you are comparing with the fools of 11 players. I'm just giving an example about that. I mean, we have the great experience and great spiritualism and Hinduism, and the history of India. Why the spiritual leaders from the beginning? It was created in India. Then why this material life has been changed? Why these fools have been created? Why the spiritual leaders have been not stopped?
No, what you are asking, why spiritual leaders did not stop all these things?
Yeah, I mean, the power is with the spiritual leaders, right? Because we are going with the spiritual leaders, the Indian generation is going with the Hinduism.
One thing, spiritual leaders and God is so gracious, they allow the people to be in bondage. You see, you are given freedom to be in bondage. Spirituality is never forced on anybody. Somebody asked Buddha, you know, enlightenment is a great thing, and you know you can give. Why not you make the whole world enlightened? Buddha says, I am ready to give. Please go and do a survey. How many wants to receive? Evening the boy came empty-handed. So it is how many is willing. How many were willing? That counts important thing. And one more thing, God never forces even enlightenment on anybody. It happens only when you ask. It happens only when you search. That land, you see, there are two kinds of civilization was developed. One is the Greek, based on logic, head, intellect. Another one in the Himalayas, based on spirituality, intuition, mysticism, religion. East gave birth to all the inner world, sciences related to inner world. West gave birth to all the sciences related to outer world. Two different kind of civilization. But West never tried to be aggressive on the East. Because we are not the people who are aggressive. And one important thing, the Eastern religions don't even believe in conversion. We don't believe in conversion. We don't believe in conversion. Rather, we tell them to be more deeper into their path. We don't believe in conversion. Eastern religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, all these religions, Sikhism, we don't believe in conversion. We are never aggressive people. And on India, so many groups of people came, and so many people invaded India. So many groups invaded India. Do you see throughout the history India invading any one country? We are continuously invaded for last 3,000 years, again and again and again. But we never went out for inversion. Don't think we didn't have enough power. We had. We are continuously invaded for last 3,000 years. But we never went out for invasion. Somehow, our attitude, our life itself was totally different. Our blood itself was totally different. So all our energy is spent only in inner science, inner world. That is why I always tell people, India is not a nation. India is not a geography. It is a living, vibrant energy. Only we can boast, we can claim of certain energy fields which neutralizes, nullifies the collective negativity of the planet Earth. The moment India dies or spirituality dies in India, world can never be alive anymore. It is we who balance, nullify the collective negativity, collective unconsciousness. Of course, we never force ourselves on anybody. We only open and wait for the people to come and experience. Thank you.